Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Croatia, which Croatia is now officially an empire. Yes, an empire. To be exact, a great princedom, which is the name of an empire-sized republic, with parliamentarianism as being one of its features here. And because of the formation of the Croatian Empire, this also led to a cultural union for all South Slavic cultures. Croatians, Serbians, Bulgarians, Bosnians, Albanians, Slovenes, we are all one people now. We're all South Slavic, Yugoslav. Brotherhood and unity truly realized. In some way, shape, form, of course, but of course this would also free up some space of who to have non-accepted cultures to be accepted, as Greeks and Dalmatians are all accepted cultures, but at least there's room for Venetians, Crimeans, and even Turkish, because every little bit helps, honestly. Like we wish the Turkish were an accepted culture. Think of the tax modifier and missionary stuff that it would bring coming from this highly developed area. Think about that. And also converting it from Sunni to Catholic, the goods produced modifier would be up as well because of the gems here, and that tax would go up even more. So, and I wish the development would just get up to 60, because there is room for one more building, and that's a manufacturing. And we've been investing heavily on manufactories. As you could see, that we will reach on September 25th, 1662. Next year, Croatia enters in a period of pro-industrialization, even though it's already begun to some degree, as we've been building all kinds of these buildings, including a few churches when we developed a little bit of Bulgaria. At least the parts that I would like to develop the most, except for this one, which is a marsh, which is not a good place to develop unless you really truly care about developing, if you want to invest in this sort of thing, but I already did my part. But anyways, as I said, I wish there was room for a manufactory, as the previous owners have really intensified on that. In fact, a better question is, I wish there was a university here, but you know, it's gonna cost you. Unless something happens, even if you try to encourage development, that would have very little reduction. And it's been improved 22 times by the previous owner, which is the Ottomans, of course. So one day, we'll make Turkish an accepted culture, which is due to this minority here. And knowing that we do have claims on some of the Turkish areas of northern Anatolia, because of possible interest in expanding to some areas. Especially the copper here. Anything that benefits it. And as well as an interest in controlling another centers of trade there. So that way we have some more degree of trade power. And we did build a castle here in Atina, which is just to have a fort there simply for the sake of it. You know, it ain't gonna do much, but it helps with the trade power, but it's due to trade power efficiency, and some of it's developed here, because I did develop parts of Greece as well. And also 28% of that's from mercantilism. Which you can promote the mercantilism up, but to me it's not really worth my time, except, well, there's this. Since it's less than 100%, but I've read somewhere regarding mercantilism, it's like, yes, it does, has its benefits, which we've mentioned before, of what it does. It adds a little more provincial trade power, more efficiency on embargo, and the burghers' loyalty would be up a little bit. Even though it's not really worth me spending my diplomatic power to promote mercantilism. But obviously, since we've become so economic intensive these days, I'm not terribly worried about everything else. So why not sanction commercial monopoly? So now it's 15% mercantilism. And boy, oh boy, would it be big to try to convert Zarigrad. But it's possible if we can have the Turkish a accepted culture and upgrade the church over there to a cathedral. And then you got it. You've converted the most developed territory, bringing all the great benefits there. Man, I'm obsessed with ways to make money and all that. But in the meantime, we may go to a war very soon. And that's against Venice. But of course, if you go to war against Venice directly, you are facing Austria and the HRE in addition to 2 Sicilies. It's Savoy and the Knights. But the alternative is declare war on 2 Sicilies, which they're allied with the Ottomans, France, especially France, and Venice. The Caramanese won't be there because they're in debt, which I would much prefer they would join us. I mean, have a team effort, all of you. I mean, I can only see the Mamluks and Akkonulu taking care of the Ottomans, which makes me feel safe, while I could put my main focus on 2 fronts. 2 Sicilies, and the Franco-Venetian force up there. So it would be best to bring everybody over, but keep in mind, our army is still fully drilled, but we did not have time to drill this one, which is our new Cossack army that we created, along with Croatian cannons to assist them. And finally, when these manufactories are finished by next year, we will have this goal complete. And this is the road it'll give us. Next 25 years, production efficiency up, which adds more income. But the huge amount of ducats we will gain, which will be enough to embrace manufactories, which is already present in some areas. Some areas more isolated than others because we're still in the process of building a couple of more manufacturers which still be present, and it'll reduce the cost bit by bit. And there's another reason why I want to go to war against Venice. Look how close it is for the birthplace of manufacturers in Verona. It's also home of a perfume capital and proto-industrial mills there. Very jealous that Venice had that, and it should belong to Croatia, and we will take it ourselves. So, I think it would be wise to get a position into these 2 areas. And we'll be right behind you. I'm committing all the forces there. I am confident that our fortifications will hold. And I suggest you get them ready. And as for all the other navies, they'll have to be mobilized to 1 fleet. Because, I mean, yes, the trade power will go down a bit as we stop assigning the light ships to there. So everybody must return to Corfu. And of course, eventually, when we start making a lot more money through these manufactories, I will invest a little more. Hey, get back there. Invest a little more towards the Navy. Particularly adding more heavy ships. Well, we're still going to be using the older ships, but we have the numbers. They may look like it, but the Venetian fleet ain't as strong as they used to be. I'm bringing Genoa in, Tuscany. We'll have naval superiority, and also we'll be fighting against the French, which their armies are massive, and that's why we got to bring the Commonwealth in. They may not have the manpower, but they have the numbers. And bringing the Mamluks along, no problem. But I would like for the Caramanese to join us. Wish they would. And also at the same time we're trying to improve relations with France, just to show, oh I don't know, just trying to prevent them from joining the war. But we're mobilizing already, you know, just in case if one of our allies declared the war for whatever reason. But I can't guarantee everything. And so, let us go. Everyone here? On the way. All present. Where are you going? I know I gave you access, but keep that well in mind. I mean, you don't have to join, but perhaps you could finish off what's left of the Ottomans. Truce? What truce? Yeah, don't worry about it. Just save up your administrative power for not only to get this next idea group, but also to core your gains. We're just waiting for the right time to declare war. Just in position. So we'll just rush through all of these. And this is their new capital up in Trent. No fortifications. Manpower's at the max. One of the most famous and respected mates approached Mutimir Lachkovich this morning, saying his concerns about the state of monument. My dear prince, it breaks my heart to see such a beautiful structure carelessly abandoned, left alone to face the dangers of time and weather. I beg of you, please allow me to help restore it. You know, I could improve upon it. And, I mean, that would have a reduction of advisor costs, which is always good. For me. But I won't have the money to upgrade the damn thing anyway. I'll just say we don't have time for this. Don't worry about it. And yes, we're letting the pirates roam around again. Thus bringing devastation. This is monthly, not yearly. And since we're done developing, get those edicts off. Well, sooner than later. Where is the manufacturing bill? Sofia. And it's not present, so pay attention. It's starting to be present in some other areas, reducing the cost. Bit by bit. Just hang on. One more month. I mean, listen, we're ready for war. It's just, like, does that mean this building and manufacturer going to cause this to be present? It's complete, but now coming October. Not present. It's just there. I'm just surprised there isn't one in Zagreb now. But oh well, just wait till next year. So that we will have a reduced institution tech penalty and then we can afford to get this. But you may want to save that when you eventually core Verona and these two, one of these, because it's going to be a part of that war goal. Just need to get it up to 30. While we improve relations with France a little further. Diplomatic reputation. Gone further into depth. And Karaman's got over, well, they got over some of their debt. But I told them to prepare for war, and they are. Because we want everybody. It's a team effort by everybody. And of course, after the war, we'll have standardized uniforms. That increases the land maintenance modifier, meaning we'll be spending that a little more. But at least we'll drill the thing faster. I see. I'm a-looking on when to strike. You got all this alliance. And I was hoping you'll be bothered with something else. Like go fight England or something. But they got a near... they got a manpower that's basically ad infinitum, and they grow stronger each day. So I don't know. I don't know about fighting against the French. I mean, we do have the manpower as well. Thinking about when to strike. The other alternative is, no. Because fighting against Venice would require fighting against the HRE. And these two will not be there, because that war is so distant to them. And even if you were to bring everybody, it's... well, it'll probably be the most tense war ever, and we've already beaten Austria. At least not by much. Although, should we do that instead? Fight against Venice and the HRE, along with Savoy and 2 Sicilies? I mean, Aconilo and the Caramanides, we kind of don't need them. We'll be fine. And we'll fight against the Ottomans with their assistance. And also, Venice is in a trade league with Nuremberg. We've been in Austria before, and if we can get Austria pieced out of that war, that's what I assume, and then we'll be great. I don't know, it's a pretty tense situation of what we're about to get ourselves into. I mean, soon you will have the money by next year that we would adopt all this. So I think I see how it's gonna look. There's 20,000 Venetians and another 26,000. But bringing in Tuscany and Genoa would be a force multiplier. And then we would be fighting the HRE led by Austria. Even though we don't have any claims against them anymore. At least they don't have espionage ideas. You know what, let's continue to wait out. Just adopt a wait and see policy. And of course it's because of stuff like that. The need for more generals. Ho ho! No fire. Oh wait. Which one? This is the unassigned. Okay, here's the unassigned one. 2 fire, 3 shock, 5 maneuver, 2 siege. Well now. Another one of the good ones. Alright, we grant concessions to the Cossacks for the next 10 years, and we got some loyalty out of them. We can intervene in the wars. What's going on? Oh, England and France. They're at it again. Austria is intervening on the England side. So, West Indies, Haiti, Mosquito, West Indies, Colombia, Australia. Against France, Spain, 2 Sicilies, Savoy, Liège, French Canada, French Colombia, French Alaska, Castilian Brazil, Spanish West Indies, Florida, Spanish Louisiana, Terra Nostra. Oh my goodness. As much as I would like to intervene in other people's wars as a great power, but what does this mean? Oh, they'll still join. But what about Venice and the HRE? Well, they're gonna have to defend it. Venice is part of the Empire and Austria is the Empire. Unless they're enemies and rivals. Just wait a moment. There's some hope. As much as I would like to fight against everybody that I see. Sure thing. Now look again. Should I go for this or this? But Austria doesn't have much of a manpower. So it's a French conquest of Essex, and yet practically it's a world war because it involves colonies over there as well. Yeah, somebody, it's probably that's another front of the war. And since Australia's involved, that means Spanish and English parts of Australia will be duking out a bit too there. So it is a first world war of its kind. And where does Croatia stand? Well, quite honestly, I would love to intervene on the side of so choose war to intervene in. That's what it says anyhow. That I can aid England. So yeah, I mean, I could intervene on the side of the English, as we do have issues with two Sicilies. But my problem is that I do not have a navy that is capable of, you know, traveling through faraway places in the Atlantic to cover on their front. But you may never know that one day we're going to be friends. But the problem is, you are allied with Austria, and I don't like Austria. I don't like them at the fact that it's this unruly neighbor of ours. This unruly neighbor that we give them a lot for. But we'll fabricate one more claim. Just wait a few months and then we'll go on the offensive, as the French will be mobilizing and go on a move over there, because they want Essex. This here. And I would like to fight against Austria and the HRE, because I still got a bone to pick with them. Did what you could. Fabricate one more claim. Capitulate. Again, that's just in case if I really want to expand over there. You know, there's no centers of trade, but anything that gets us closer to Verona. Because I want that land. Or do you want to wait a couple of more months until Manufactories is complete? Again, they'll be there, attacking two Sicilies. Meaning not everyone's going to be there. But however, fighting against the Ottomans would require fighting against Russia, as they're guaranteed anything to dislodge them. And since we're so close to finishing these buildings, let's wait. Foreign corridor of Corfu. For a long time, foreign merchants have been settling in Corfu to better conduct trade of our country. Lately, however, with the intensified activity of the Kingdom of Two Sicilies, the corridor has grown to a city of its own. This is now without its problems. Our own citizens are complaining that the Sicilian community is growing at their expense. They demand that we impose harsher rules on foreign merchants and curtail their activities outside of foreign quota. Aye. We must respect the wishes of the good men of Corfu. So yeah, that adds a little slight trade power to it. Wonder if it had any real effect on it. It's for the next 10 years. Keep that well in mind. Some degree. Till the 25th of September. The French are already in Austria. The Austrian army are in our country. Just hang on. Here it comes. Manufactories built and mission complete. So as we said, great advances are being made in the field of production, both technological and organizational. Let us invest greatly in the new manufacturers. A great industrial revolution might soon be upon us. So Croatia gets proto-industrialization for the next 25 years, adding more proficient production efficiency, giving us this huge reward of ducats. Remember the income. 44.63. 44.63, and now jumped up a little. And this also fulfills another mission, as Croatia is already an empire, so securing wealth must always be the foremost priority of our state. Let us make use of the expensive armies and fleets that our economic prosperity has brought us to acquire even more resources and subjects for an inspiring empire. Even though my prestige is already high enough. But the year's separatism thing, it's kind of like whatever to me, but if I ever get low prestige, I'll be sure to use that just to keep the prestige up. And although this is going to be for a much later time, and I highly doubt I'll finish this mission. So practically, we've completed all these Croatian missions. Practically. So basically, this series was a resounding success. This was a very successful series of how to make a little country and grow into a Balkan Empire, plus expansion to Pontic Steppe and Italia, and about to expand a little more into Italia, to make it one of the richest countries down on this side of Europe. Right. We'll think about that. And now we can embrace an institution as it's becoming more and more present in some areas. So we'll be spending this much. Embrace it. So we've embraced manufactories. From now on, we will benefit from goods produced modifier plus 10. And it jumped up even more because of the trade value of the goods produced due to the manufactories here. Very, very good. Especially more so from these manufactories, including we're building one here in one of our most recently developed territories, as it produces cloth, and you've got to have it. Local goods produced, all that, for these manufacturers, for example. Not quite there yet. Can only have this much saved. Well, then again, we're about to go to war here, so... And you know you can upgrade these buildings in cathedrals, so the ones with the cheaper price, be sure to do all of that. Just to bring, obviously, even more wealth. Some better than others. And some that are less than developed. Let's save on that. Because, you know, just let the money flow, as we will be going to war and all that money is going to be spent on maintenance. So, let's reiterate here. Oh, close! Maybe we should let France beat the heck out of Austria, so Austria and the HRE don't join against us. So to make it easier for us. So perhaps we should just stall for more time. Set it to finesse. And how much money is it to upgrade the entire fleet, in fact? Oh, really, not much. And since you're in Split, we do have time for that. We're only upgrading the light and heavy ships. So just wait a few months. I mean, at least you gotta invest in something. Just wait until France occupies more of it. As long as it drags on. A bountiful harvest. This year's harvest has been exceptional. Rarely in our nation's history has the earth brought so much of its bounty. The prophet is already interpreting as a sign of divine favor or rule. We are blessed. Made a good investment after all. Occupied and besieged provinces. Yeah, they're taking another fort. Come on, keep it up, France. For once, I say yes. Go, France, go! Well, it's election time. And this is our longest live ruler yet. But again, there's a chance that I'll be getting some power. I want to re-elect him. He's a bold fighter, he is righteous, but he's a babbling buffoon also. But, hey, you can't win them all, alright? So yeah, let's keep him one more time. He might as well be a dictator at this point. He's our own FDR, who served four terms in the United States historically. Yeah, I'll take the Propagate Tradition hit, which obviously isn't good for anyone. Let me see. If I had a little more military power, I'd do it. How old are you? 32? Oh yeah, you need to be around. Because I would like to invest things heavily. Whereas that one, he's a little more expensive because he's not one of those, you know. You know what? One more. Good enough. We just want to get this faster to level these up and then start working on more of the quality ideas, which all of it is naval focused from there up until artillery. Then you got the discipline. So we're waiting for, you know, France to continue to do a lot of damage to the Austrians, so that it'll prevent the HRE from intervening when we attack Venice. What's this? Near maximum monarch power. Yeah, I understand. Perhaps I should spend it on developing one of the poorer regions. You know, just up the base tax. Just doing some thinking in the head. Which again, you're far ahead of time. Probably put it in Azov, yes. Although, watch yourself. Huh? You should encourage development on that next time. Pay attention next time. And don't you know this is an area where slaves are there? And I would build a manufactory there. Yes, I said manufactory again. That's a trade station because it requires either ivory, slaves, spices, clothes, furs, or incense. That's why I had an interest about building it here. But of course the local goods produced would also help it a bit. So yeah, do spend one more. Just take your pick. Just this once, okay? Up in the mountains of Montenegro. There. Well, one more will do. There, you got yourself a building. What does produce? Naval supplies. Anyways. Again, we're ready for war. We're just waiting for France to continue to do a lot of damage to Austria. Just take their forts. You're besieging them. Aristocrats don't want to serve. Let me see. Alright. Good. Sorry, I just got a text from my mother. Just doing alright, health-wise. Now, anyways, what are the aristocrats I want to serve for? They become reluctant to serve in our army because we're focusing on defense tactics. They're concerned about the lack of opportunities for glory while cowering behind fortifications. A little gold will convince them. Take that corruption penalty and we'll get rid of it quickly. Thanks to the successful bureaucracy here. Not quite ready yet. Walls breached. Austria's out. Not looking good on paper, do you? So that means they're still gonna intervene. No matter what. Okay. France is too busy. But they'll still join regardless. And you know they're right next door, so I don't think you want to do that right now, if I were you. Now, look at it one more time. Distant war. Distant war and in depth. Hey, what if? Pay off their entire debt. Pay off their entire national debt. Because this, around 3 standard size loans for them. They're risk proof and take up all that. Sure, I'll do that. We'll get most of our income through other means anyhow. Like that. Sucker. You always find a way to do things, do you? So I took out on your debt. so let me see again. You'll be willing to come when I tell you to prepare for war, but Akunula won't be there, which they'll do so with their own devices. So we have an understanding then. So it's settled then. But these ships are not ready for combat. We will declare war as soon as these ships are finished with their repairs, as we've upgraded them. You request privileges. Increasingly important trading city. You sure? Mango. Mango. Where is Mango? Or is that a country? Or a city? Because it sounds like it's one of those Crimean areas. No? Anyways, they approached the Great Prince today asking the privileges to be able to make the region thrive without hindrance of many of our normal taxes. Shall we provide them with these means to grow, to assure us that the economy there will quickly improve, resulting in more wealth of the state? That's Theodoro. That area there. Ah. That's what you mean. They would be disloyal, but I would be getting them land and they'll be very loyal to us. But that increases some base tax of the area. Okay, you got me. So I'd be giving away 2% of my crown then. Thus reducing the development cost a little more. Development that I may invest in if I keep getting more administrative power if we still have not reached to this level of technology yet. But I really want that new idea badly. And of course you can't go to war without an admiral. Two fire, two shocked, one went over. 17 years old too. Young man, fresh off of the academy. Naval Academy, I assume. Yeah, why the hell not? There, you got your development up to 10. Just build one here. I'll deal with the upgrading the cathedral at a later time. Well, basically all alongside of the northern Anatolian coast that I have claims to. But it's scary to be seeing French ships there, because had I declared war against two Sicilies, they would be right there. They're all transports, in fact. Because they do have the access to there. As I said, scary to think about that. And that's partly the reason why, as our income increases, especially when we take over these newly won gains, and as long as there's no corruption, I will invest by getting more heavy ships. What's the force limit? Enough. Is Russia part of this? Oh my god, yes. Oh. Oh dear. This is what happens when you wait too long. But two Sicilies is over there. Allied with Ajan. Two Sicilies. Are the Mamluks with you? Aconial mammals. Of course, the usual alliance. Yeah, I'll be there. Not what I had in mind, but it's a war against two Sicilies as well. But, of course, the Caravanese are the war negotiators here. Just wait one more month and then the Navy would be ready. At war of ally. Oh, they're never gonna let us in. In that case, two armies are to pull back towards Bulgaria. Two stay. Although this would give us a chance to knock them out. And so that way when we fight against Venice, it'll be a little easier. Members of the HREN Trade League. Ready for combat. Engage. As long as you keep them back, we can at least transport some armies safely. And plus, what the hell is this war for? Bolu. I have a claim on Bolu too. In that case, keep going. I'd be concerned about Russia a little later on. But I gulp with nervousness. Of course. We give you military access, but you're not giving me of that in return. We shall see. Excuse me. We captured one of their light ships. And we sunk a good portion of them. And they have really invested on their heavy ships, so they gave us quite a bit of a lashing, actually. As far as these galleots have taken. It would be wise to try to hunt them down while they're out there. Sunk them all. Near shipyards close, so make repairs here real quick. I can't guarantee your safety. Ip! Well, since we're at war with the Ottomans, so you better stop with that both. Well, actually... No, just stop right now. Back as you were. And maybe we could build a spy network against Austria and get that claim back on with this one. At least have some degree of an excuse. But Venice won't let us in. So until then, these ships are repaired and back in action, we will go to escort these transports to send these two armies to another front. Oh my goodness! That's the Tsar himself. Well, at least the Tsar Regent. Is he? Because, you know, heir, and how old is he? Yeah. They are Muscovites. So they are coming after us. Bring in the Cossacks. Ready for transport, but I'm gonna need your help. Need your escort. You pull back as well. All together now. These Russians are eager to get their territories back. Don't get fallen behind. My goodness, there's so many of them. The damned invasion. Not engaging. Captured 2 more light ships added to our fleet. Yeah, we can't watch our back here. We're more concerned about dealing with Russia. But if we can get the Mamluks to team up with us, then we may have a chance. But obviously they're committed in taking Ajam out. We'll pick you up in a moment. Go. I need all armies over here. Go. Sunk them all. Back to Zagrad for a moment. Again, can't watch over everything. Make sure you're safe. Keep going on your way. We'll just do what we can. Save it up. Oh, damn it. Get in. Hold your damn positions. Alright, we've taken the area. But I can't guarantee the safety of everybody else. So we will take the fight to the Russians. This way. Come on. Alright, we're in. As soon as you're in position, advance. Figure out how we can do it from here. This is not a star fort, but Zagreb is. They haven't moved at all. Because they're still content with, you know, fighting against England. So they pretty much got themselves covered in. We have the Mamluk and Navy to keep them at bay. As I said, you started this. You got yourself into this. But in the meantime, yeah, that trade station isn't going to be built anytime soon, since it's currently occupied. Move on. Stick together. We'll fight the Russians. First encounter. Spread out. Yeah, Jami are out. So that means that'll be a little bit of focus. A little bit more focus towards the north. For Akunulu to fight it in this front. On it. Not there yet. Put some of that on us. One more for 15. That'll hold it off for a while. And we're letting these damn pirates roam free. But the Navy will be back in action to head this way. Now move out. Cossacks will be behind you to support you. Don't venture off too far. You don't know who's up there. Of course. Oh, 2 fire, 3 shock, 2 maneuver, 4 siege. Who's missing a general? This one. Just in time. First day of service. Fighting against Russia requires a lot of open warfare. Decided some. We have a claim on this area, so here back. Right, since I'm not the negotiator here, so I might as well. So that means new types of galleys. Shiva. Good God. We'll go for a two-decker in the future. So that'll be until the 1670s is when it's going to happen. Well, we're trying to get this one. Again, there's a lot of them up there. Most of them are just freshly raw recruits. As I said, don't venture off too far, unless you're with allies. All Ottoman territories occupied except for this part of Scasia. So I doubt I will make any more gains through this. But the war enthusiasm is low, so you need to take out some of their other allies. But at least they haven't gone anywhere. Don't know why the papacy has not given them access. But sometimes there are just things that surprise you. Honestly, you should be blockading this area. There's a lot more. If you want to make more income through blockading. Proceed with caution. Architectural development. Our nation is currently undergoing substantial development in its architecture. Numerous monumental buildings, architecture wonders out of construction, such as aqueducts and schools, are being erected. One moment, please. I will do that. Ooh, where to develop? Where to develop? Burgers are still loyal to us, barely, so there is time for that. Just this once. Support architectural development. That definitely jumps it up here. Yes, I know. Not quite there yet, but about to have a little bit more military tactics and infantry shop for this. Yeah, just this once. One more for Dubrovnik. There you go. Here's another building slot for you. What hasn't been built in Dubrovnik is another question. University. Why did you think of that? Okay. There they are. We'll slowly march towards these forts. The honest merchants of Croatia. While many traders are known for their cheating countrymen and foreigners alike, lying about the quality of goods and making fraudulent promises, the Croatian merchants are well known to be trustworthy, if competitive, though sometimes may cut deals that benefit themselves, not their trade partners. They rarely lie or take bribes. This just made us the first choice of traders around the world. Why would we lie when we have the best offers? So, trusted merchants. Here's your trade power for you. Well, despite the absence of trade ships. As of right now. I guess the reason why that's gone up is because we've been... I don't know. It's due to them being occupied and they're not second enough trade power. But the real objective of Verona still eludes me. We're waiting for them to make a false move. Here it is. Line infantry. So this is the era where pikes are no longer a thing. It's just adding bayonets on muskets, so it's all gunpowder warfare from there. As we are 10 years ahead of time of everything. And by the next year or two, we will finally get this new trade ideas that I've wanted so bad. It's them over there. Russian Imperial Army. Looting foreign cities. Blockading foreign ports. So, I could tell you what. Shift to there. Shift everybody to there. Austria no longer a valid rival of Croatia. Speaking of which, this area, for reasons. Also about to engage the enemy. Watch yourself. Hang on. Let me see. For innovativeness. I'll just say what a waste of time. We're about to, you know, get some of that prestige through winning battles. So, yep, that got their attention. Hopefully they'll start turning around and start defending their homeland if they care. Akkonulu will be with us. And soon we gotta put a pressure onto Sicily's with those. I mean, blockade isn't enough. I mean, when the fleet leaves, they'll take care of them. In fact, you've got a lot of heavy ships. I'm definitely gonna be investing in those once this war is over. Old castle, easy to take down. In fact, who's this man? Because if somebody's going to do the sieging, we should have switched generals. Because we have a real expert on siegecraft. What's that man's name? Grego Jelicic. That's the man. Well, it's already too late. You have to go all the way to St. Petersburg to get them out. But you have a pretty good siege skill. You're the best one, so go up to Nizhny Novgorod. That'll turn them around. 43 days. Move on. Get to Yaroslavl. Finish your occupation. Yeah, that was our administrative advisor. Oh, we will get it this year. finally. Move up. About to engage the enemy as you will be heading to Yaroslav. But it seems it's highly likely they're coming to invade Croatia, so I think we may have to end our expedition and pull back. Head to Azov. You stay up there. You two pull back. You two are good siege skills. Well, most of you anyhow. Akonulu will support. Because they're committing their way towards Croatia. Another thing I should do, since you care about economy and all that. The nations are to be accepted culture. Coming soon, Turkish. Anything to help with the Croatian economy. Well, they're here now. They're in Zagreb. Present. Also, I just noticed the new uniforms. They kind of look like Turkish influence, but and then they're armed with Jazil muskets, so it pretty much tells you the state of the Croatian army, of how we're so influenced by our friends. I'm just role-playing the fact of why do these uniforms look more Turkish than European? Well, who do you think we were friends with for a long time? And compare that to the Commonwealth over there. That's what they look like. And the Russian army who is currently besieging Zagreb. So that's why they're dressed like that. In fact, are we even ahead of the time military-wise compared to them? Yes, we are. They're somewhat outclassed. Head to Split. Protect them. I'll continue on your expeditionary war. Go long to St. Petersburg. Yaroslav has fallen. In the meantime, since they're so far away from here, take that off. Go besiege anything you see on and cover them. We're sending 2 armies to deal with them. The fort will hold. They don't have a good... What the hell is this? They have a composition of 25 infantry and only 1 artillery. You can't go to our artillery. I mean, there's some coming, but it's not going to contribute to a lot. What the hell kind of war do the Russians fight on anyway? What kind of military doctrine they run on here? Where's we're more practical? Whoa there. Stop carpet sieging now. You are about to get into a heavy battle here. These are regulars, mind you. Third army, we're sending the Cossack army. Not now. Remain in your position. We'll surround them. Best general there is. Forest, not woods. There's a difference, you see. Now they suffered their first defeat in battle. Continue on your way. As ordered, we'll cover you. Just gonna cover siege bit by bit. And it appears they are sending some of the artillery and infantry their way to help with the siege. But we're in no rush here. As Grand Prince, let me lead. I may be old, but I ain't stupid. They're turning around. I've realized what's going on. Also keep in mind, these are the uniforms of the 7 Years' War era and into the 1700s. That's what they look like in those days. And the French, well, they still look more old school. And I don't know why they're sitting here. Are they still at war with England? Well. Yikes. I think we should consider allying with the English in the long run. Now, where was I? Still on our way. Just take their capital and Russia will be out of the war in no time. Finally, this is what I've been waiting for, but keep in mind, you're going to be so far ahead in time that that this would increase our innovativeness big time. And the yearly corruption that goes down along with it. And you know the effects of innovativeness. So yes, we are very far ahead of time. And you can build a town hall, which is an upgrade from the courthouse. And we are definitely going for trade ideas. Now, keep in mind, down the line we will get a merchant and another merchant, and completing the trade ideas, which will likely happen just as the 1700s begins. We'll have yet another merchant. And with these trade ideas that we currently have, if we go for policies combining with economic, trade efficiency, production efficiency, defensive, another merchant with trade steering. In humanist down here, much more reduction of idea costs, getting it faster and institution spread. And for quality ideas, if you complete that as well, more trade efficiency. Why haven't we thought of that earlier regarding these ideas? Those first 5 ideas I picked is just to reflect the ideas of, again, role-playing as Yugoslavia before we decided to become a empire of not just the Balkans, but out in the Pontic steppe and into a little bit of Italy that we still plan on going over there. So yeah, now we must change the national focus more towards the diplomatic power. Sure, it'll still be enough to get a new type of ship, but much more interested in getting this first for even more global trade power. So there you have it. They're pulling back. Well, since you two are here, we should invade two Sicilies, even though there's a lot of them out there. In fact, you don't even know how many are there in the mainland. Oh, there's your answer. Some of them are stuck there. And who knows where some of the other armies are, fighting in other fronts. But I'm not going to let them get away with this. Hunt them down. As skilled as the general is, I'm not going to let him get away with this. Heading to Steiermark. Mountains, which, let me see, 3 fire, 6 shock, 3 maneuver, 2 siege. Hold it. Let him go where he wants to go. We got to get him trapped. Give him a false impression. Ah, you son of a beeswax. Try to get him to flatter ground. He's got faster maneuver than... No, we're faster. We can catch him. Capital will soon fall. I'll take the less penalty by fighting in the woods here. So we got a fully drilled army and a non-drilled but newfangled Cossack army. And they're all infantry with a little bit of artillery. But we have the cavalry and a Cossack cavalry, and with their support and influence, that our cavalry and the quality of the said cavalry will perform with devastating force against them. One more area to take. Once we're done with Russia, invade two Sicilies and knock them out of the war, unless the war score goes to 99. The war enthusiasm is medium, but that's about to change. Not going anywhere. And with that defeat, Russia is out. We killed them all here. So they'll pay the war reparations and huge number of ducats, and we get 858. Alrighty. Let's go invade Sicily. Get out of there. Like, got nothing. Just head back down to Theodoro. And we'll pick him up from there. Let's see if we can take some land for ourselves. If they allow. Thoughts of heresy. The Cardinal and Rashka live close to the heretics in our nation rather than condemn them, as they try to understand them, while the sympathetic course of action. He's recently approached one of our ministers, confessing he has himself started to adopt the church doctrine. If this came into the Pope's knowledge, he would no longer be allowed to serve in the Curia, but perhaps we could convince him to keep this to himself for a few ducats. No, I will use that newly found money somewhere, so it's no longer a seat of a cardinal. He was loyal to Croatia, yes. But there are just some things you don't do. Alright, let's Move out. We're invading this area now. Trial. Well, there goes some of that old Republican tradition again. Because I need some of that power. And I'll take that corruption hit. Despite being a parliamentary republic, it's still not a true republic in a way. Get ready. As soon as it's occupied and after we fend off the Navy, then you'll be landed safely. We lost one light ship. They gave us a beating. Move up. Safe travels. Already arrived. Assisted by other navies. Remain in your position. These are the areas we have claims to. We're just here to eliminate the Navy as much as we can with their low morale. Just occupy the coast. Two there. Sicilian flagship sunk. I didn't know they have a flagship. Of all the ships in the Sicilian Navy, none was more highly regarded than the Pegaso. Knowing this, we have been prepared for this ship. Today our preparations paid off. Pegaso was sunk in a battle today, dealing a significant blow to Sicilian morale, reminding them that no ship, legend or not, is unsinkable. Good riddance. Although we lost two more ships, but we captured this heavy ship. Re Carlo. That's the name of the Sicilian ship. Accomplished sailor. Fast movement speed. You got him. You got the bastards. But more on their way. Tunnel come. They're on their way. Here's the siege master. Head to Napoli. Once their capital falls, they should be out of the war, and it will be over sooner than you think. But in the meantime, please repair those ships, especially that newly captured heavy ship. Simply for the sake of it. Sunken. Only left a hole in it. of this old merchantman here. As you were. Old castle. Conflict of court and country. They tend to negotiate with these frondeurs. That's what Akanula got. They lost some absolutism. Come here. Walls breached. Advance, take out the enemy. Until these ships are fully repaired, we'll get back to blockading. Nice to see these guys got new uniforms as well. That got him. With that kind of war score, this war should be over soon. At least in their participation. Yeah, you got it. Please remain in your position. Okay, it's over. It's over. We did not have these new gains, but they did give us Carbadia, part of Circassia. So the Ottomans are almost all gone. It's all Karamanid from here. Now they're totally isolated. For more than ever. Well done. Should be a kingdom rank by now, should you develop your country more. Be happy to core this area. Since Circassia is a state. Yeah, very happy about this. Oh yeah, by the way, we're still trying to root out the corruption, which we're about to be gone. Anyways, it was in a... I was recording in the middle of a rainstorm, but I wasn't aware that lightning strike that just had. And thank you for the manpower. And ladies and gentlemen, let's end this episode right now before something bad happens. So, I hope you enjoyed this episode. But until then, so long for now. Whew.